Okay, so we just ended another day, first red day using my algos in a while. So of course it was a little bit of a bloodbath. We went 3 and 8 today. So let's go ahead and walk through and take a look at all the trades. So, whoops, where did I put the YouTube video? There it is. All right. So this is the first trade. It's looking for a short in, we can see as far as market structure right now is bearish. So we have a lower high, lower low, lower high. Expect another lower low. We're short, a little bit late potentially, but we're basically shorting on a breakout. And honestly, looking at the chart, I don't see a major problem with this. But as we continue here, and it's a rangy day, by the way, so it looks like we're kind of coming back into the range. Totally makes sense to go short here. We get filled here. Market, I don't think even goes in our favor by a tick, and then shakes around for a bit. Let me close Discord so we're not getting distracted by that. We get shaking around, and it does end up coming up, tagging our stop, and then actually turning around, and I think going to where our target would have been. So look where that stop is. All right, let's continue forward here. So if it comes down to 53, that's where our target. Yeah, so so perfect fill. So we get filled right here, right at the bottom of this move, tagged out by a tick or two, then it comes down to our target. And guess what, guys? That's going to happen. It is extremely frustrating. It is more frustrating when you are trading manually. So many, I can't tell you how many times, I've seen this happen and said, it stopped me out, went to my target, I'm going in again. And look what would happen had I gone back into the trade. It would have been bad, right? So then we get triggered into a long. This is our second trade. So this particular strategy is a long breakout strategy based on multi-time frame analysis. So a lot of time frames have to say we're bullish, and then we get a breakout on a very low time frame along with some other filters that tell us the market is bullish. We're getting a long breakout, so we want to go long. It's one of my few strategies that would not be considered a scalping strategy because the target is larger than the stop. And this one takes quite a while, but we do end up going up here and hitting the target. After, of course, it comes and tries to scare us a couple of times. All right, so let's move on to the third trade here. So this is the same strategy, a long breakout strategy on a lower time frame. So we've had kind of a little pullback, and then we're trying to get long on basically a very low time frame is telling us we've had a breakout of a breakout above a swing level, and so we're wanting to go long. Again, in retrospect, it's easy to look at this and say you're selling so high or you're buying so high. Why would you do that? In an uptrend, if we were to consider this to be an uptrend, and again, multiple time frames are telling us we're in an uptrend, and clearly we've been making higher highs and higher lows in here. This would be a statistical good place to try and go long. Shorting above highs in an uptrend doesn't usually work. It sometimes works, and today, it just so happens that that would have worked. We do get some significant progress towards our target. 14 points. Now, I've tried in strategies like this using a break-even stop at a certain point. It ends up not being profitable. Most of my trades go into profit, go back into a little bit of drawdown before going to the ultimate target. So statistically, it does not work out. So where was that one? That was trade 3. So we're going to go look at trade 4 now. So we try this same strategy once again, trying to get long into this uptrend. And as you would guess, we end up getting stopped out here. So at this point, my account is near the daily loss limit. So I swap everything over to the sim account because I do want to be completely transparent with the strategies and show everything that happens with them. So if we go over to trade 5, of course, wouldn't you know it, this one wins. It's a $500 winner, which would put us, if we would have been able to continue trading this account, would have brought us back pretty nicely. So we'll continue forward here. We don't need to see exactly how the whole trade plays out, but you know, it does end up hitting that target up there. This one was very frustrating, very annoying. I ended up taking it on an Apex account. I don't usually use this particular strategy on performance accounts because although the strategy is really fantastic and it'll go on huge winning streaks, you know, win 3 or 4 trades in a day. And sometimes based on the ATR, sometimes the target will be really far away, sometimes a 50-point target. So you'll make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 in a day. I had a stream on Friday last week where this particular trading strategy ended up with I think a $600 loss and then a $1,000 win. It was a really great trading day. But the drawdown, because the stops are a bit larger, is a bit harder to stomach in a live account. So I did take this on one of my evaluation accounts with Apex. That account's ultimately still down for the day based on all these other trades. So here again, we're trying this same thing, long breakout. We have an uptrend. Basically, we're taking along at the low of this trend line. And of course, by the time you spot the trend line, it starts to become less powerful. But I'm not trying to cherry pick the trades and go, this one I think looks good, this one I think looks bad. Because what ends up happening, if you watch my recap from yesterday, I didn't like the way the market was moving, so I disabled all my strategies. And yesterday was a fantastic trading day. I actually would have passed this earn to trade account had I had all the strategies enabled. So you try to determine for yourself whether now is a good time or a bad time to be taking the trades. When those filters are already built into the strategies and have a statistical probability of taking the right trades and filtering out the bad ones for you. Of course, they don't filter out all of the bad trades, but you try and take it into your own hands. Oftentimes you're wrong. So what I usually find happens is that you disable your strategies, you miss some good trades, and that convinces you I should have my strategies on. And then you get a string of losers, you know, because you've just had a massive winning streak. Oh man, we won, I think 8 trades in a row over the last couple of days, and you know that might convince someone who's using algos to, I'm going to turn the strategies on now. They're doing really well, and that's when you have a losing day. You can see down here, hadn't had a losing day in a couple of weeks. It's just like feels imminent. I know it's coming. So you know it did happen today. But I can't prejudge that. There's no way for me to know that. I can't see the future. So we end up getting stopped on that trade as well. We come here. We're at the bottom now. Again, this looks like a good trade. We're at the bottom of a range. If you look at the volume profile, this is a good place to be getting long. The other thing I like about this trade is the time of day. We're right at noon. So New York lunch has just ended, and they oftentimes, not always, but they oftentimes reverse a move that happened pre or during the New York lunch. So it seems to make sense. You know, right here at noon, we just shot right up. Seems to make sense. We're getting a pullback. We've had a break of this swing here. Looks like maybe a good time to go long. It just happened not to be. And the market kept dumping for a while. And then finally, we come down to end of day where we just finished a few minutes ago, and we finally get another win. So Apex accounts, you know, they survived today. They're down about $700 to $800, all of them. My performance accounts, I have swapped over to micros, so those didn't have a bad day at all. Down about $200 on each of those. Just trying to accumulate trading days And so not taking any manual trades, just continuing to do everything that I would normally do, just smaller size. Since I'm past that withdrawal threshold balance, I want to be able to access that money if I need it. But basically, I'm going to try and keep trading those accounts. Maybe I'll take a withdrawal. We'll kind of see how things are going, how I'm feeling. But yeah, so that's the recap for today. Should go without saying, but look, everyone has losing days. Every strategy, automated, manual, doesn't matter. They're going to be losing days. They're going to be losing weeks. You're going to have losing streaks. No matter what the strategy is, I have not found anything other than my pie retracement cycles that is consistent enough that it has a positive, win rate every single day. My pie cycles do seem to have a positive win rate pretty much every day if you take every setup. One of the problems with it, though, is even though in terms of risk reward per trade, you end up in the positive at the end of the day, the risk per trade varies depending on how large the pattern is. So if the large pattern happens to be a win, then you're going to have a good day. If the larger patterns happen to be the losers, then you end up having a worse day. One thing you can do to solve that is scale up and down so that you're taking approximately the same risk on every trade. But that's obviously difficult to calculate in real time. Anyway, I've gone on enough of a rant, so we're going to call it here. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow goes a bit better.